Now, there have been several reports of procs not working correctly, and especially bleed not working correctly. Now, as you just saw, it was not hitting. I mean, it was not bleeding from those hits. So now it is. It seems enemies have a built-in resistance to procs now. I believe that's what it is. Because 100% proc should proc all the time. And if you see, it's not procking, but it'll take a little bit. There it goes. But now you see it's bleeding for the whole amount. Now, the same with Mana Bomb. Let's see how many it takes. Okay. So you see how much he is resisting now. He's resisting half of my Mana Bomb. But when the bleed actually procs, so what it could be is that if any of your attack is resisted, if it's partially resisted, the proc will not happen. See, it's half, and that one hit. I couldn't tell if the numbers went over it. I couldn't tell if it hit for the full amount or not. I'll have to go back and watch the footage. Let me see. But it seems like every time I get a crit or a full hit, it procs bleed. See, it looked like that was a full hit. Now, the same is happening with Magic Missile. This might be easier to tell. Okay, you see, it's... Well, he was cursed, so that's not really fair. Okay, he's still resisting. No, they can still bleed. The procs can still happen even if they resist some of your attack. But I don't know what's going on now because it wouldn't. Yeah, now he's bleeding with every hit. The biggest concern is this right here not bleeding the way it's supposed to. Now you see when it gets going, it bleeds the way it's supposed to. But right there, nope, even with a crit. And he is resisting half of my attacks. Look, there he goes. Now he starts bleeding. So I think there is a built-in resistance to enemies now. The other thing is they are resisting execute as well. I've gotten them down to like 10% and execute would not proc. Oh, this is really interesting. I don't know why it does that. But if I put on my astral gear and I have level 25 orbit, watch this. It doesn't even hurt them. It'll cause procs, but he is resisting the entire amount. So it does absolutely nothing. Which is disconcerting because a level 25 attack should do some type of damage. But I tested this out on R20 as well, and it had no effect. It was like I had zero. What it was like if you kept on Magic Orbit when you had the Arachnid set, you would still have Magic Orbit on, but it wouldn't do any damage because it knocked it down by 100 points, but it could still cause procs. That's exactly what it's doing. So either enemies, once they get to a certain level, resist lower level spells, or the set bonuses from astral set or anything else like that, they are broken and they're not working correctly, and they're not causing any type of damage. And this could be what people are seeing with the damage being reduced when farming. So I've had a lot of people say, hey, I'm not farming correctly, my orbs aren't hitting as hard. I think this is the deal because I believe they broke the orbit. They broke the set bonus orbit because it does no damage. So that's going to take out an additional level 25 orbit damage, which really, really sucks. And look, you can tell it's broken because when I remove regular orbit, my set bonus doesn't even come up. So, but if I put it back on, it comes back. So this is the issue with orb mages losing DPS. Something is broken with the astral set. And then something is going on with procs. Enemies are resisting 100% procs, which I don't fully understand. Also, there are now built-in resistances because with enemies resisting half of your it's kind of like what crawl does, because crawl will resist half of your damage, and these guys used to not do that. When I would throw a magic missile, it would hit for, the 10 billion, 10, 11 billion and then bleed. But now it's hitting for half that. So they went and fucked around with stuff and didn't tell us. So this is not cool, in my opinion. It's not cool that we have to figure this out on our own. And it's not cool that they just went and did this. They're called silent nerfs. And we as a community need to speak out and tell them to shove it up their ass and put it back the way it was, because this is not fucking right. And you know what? That's all I really have to say, because Anima devs are really, really starting to piss me off. They're doing shit like this. And if they came out and said, oh, hey, we're doing this to the set, we're putting in resistances, you're gonna see it. If they explained everything, okay, well, we could make an informed decision. But they're doing this without explaining anything, without saying anything. It's just like, oh, well, fuck the players. No, this cannot fly. And I encourage everyone who sees this video to post this on their social media and get them to put the shit back the way it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be before they just fucked it all up with 2.4.7 and the beta and everything like that. I mean, yeah, it's better than the beta, because in the beta it just wasn't working. But now I guess they found a happy medium in their opinion and fucked up a lot of people's builds, and it needs to be fixed. So we as a community need to get behind each other, and we need to speak out on this bullshit.